A sense of shock sinks in across South Florida as students, teachers, parents, and law enforcement cope with Wednesday's shooting rampage.
The reaction stretches all the way to Montana, where Governor Steve Bullock ordered flags lowered to half-staff to honor the 17 people killed. This as the 19-year-old suspect is held without bond on suicide watch.
A police booking report says suspected gunman Nicholas Cruz has confessed details of this mass shooting. The survivors doing their best to comfort one another and make some sort of sense of the tragedy.
CBS's Kenneth Craig is in Parkland, Florida to show us how the mass shooting unfolded.
Therefore, Mr. Cruz, you're going to be held without bond.
19-year-old Nicholas Cruz is behind bars, facing 17 counts of premeditated murder. Cruz's attorneys say he is a deeply troubled young man who fell through the cracks.
He is fully aware of what is going on, and he's just a broken human being.
Police say Cruz bought his semi-automatic rifle at Sunrise Tactical Supply in Coral Springs last February. Cruz took an Uber to the scene of the crime Wednesday and started shooting around 2:21 in the afternoon.
I was hiding in an open room that the shooter could have easily walked into and killed me.
Police say Cruz told them after the rampage he ditched his gun and ammunition in a plan to save himself.
The suspect crossed fields and ran west and tried to mix in with the group that were running away, fearing for their lives.
An officer from a neighboring police department spotted Cruz in a residential area and arrested him.
For a quick moment, I thought, could this be the person? Is this who I need to stop?
Authorities have interviewed more than 2,000 people so far in this investigation. The school is still a crime scene.
Meadow Pollock.
A massive crowd gathered at an evening vigil trying to find comfort together, their candles lighting the way. It was one of several vigils Thursday where some students remarked that this tragedy was preventable.
It's an American problem that school shootings are happening.
A problem that's now rocked another American community reeling with grief. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Parkland, Florida.
And many of the 18 people who were wounded in the shooting are still hospitalized tonight.
Montana's congressional delegation reacting to the news in Florida and the many difficult conversations going on across the country.
Senior Senator John Tester says, quote, "Our schools should be safe places for our kids, not tragic halls of violence. We have a mental health crisis in this country," he says, and Congress must take action to get folks the help they need so we can better prevent these mass shootings.
Senator Steve Daines says, quote, "We must remember that any individual who is intent on harming others will do so regardless of what laws are in place. I believe it is critical we discuss how we prevent these events from happening." The senator went on to say he does not support any proposals that would undermine Second Amendment rights.
And Montana Congressman Greg Gianforte says, quote, "Officials at every level of government must work together to ensure troubled individuals can be addressed before their behavior can escalate into such an unthinkable tragedy."
In other news tonight, every year Billings police chaplains honor law enforcement officers at the Police Appreciation Banquet.
But tonight, a bit of a twist. A retiring chaplain took center stage. Chaplain Paul Reeder helped start the police chaplain program here in Billings some 40 years ago. The 87-year-old Reeder has been a police chaplain ever since, and he still attends daily police briefings.
Now tonight, many notes and letters of thanks and respect were read aloud, and audio messages were played expressing gratitude for Reeder's service. Billings Police Chief Rich St. John called Reeder a stately and seasoned man of the cloth. Now, Reeder says he uses humor but also knows the serious side to help officers get through issues.
The operative word is through, and we go through things. But, you know, God doesn't leave us in the midst of the mess. He brings us through it in one way or another. Somehow along with people who can help and support, we get through things.
Chaplain Reeder says he plans to retire at the end of the month, but he says he has one more project to complete, so that might take a little bit longer.
Congratulations, Paul. Well, yet